Hello guys, Namaste, Jai Shri Krishna. So, welcome back to my channel, Medicool's Meter Easier. I always say this before my video, that is, mind and heart, when it makes the junction, then only our doctors, we became the doctors and complete our MBBS and post graduation also. So, yes, always connect your brain and heart, and everything happens. And yes, let's start with the topic. Today's topic is cell death. Now we have two types of cell death: necrosis, apoptosis. There are two different mechanisms of doing the cell death. Apoptosis. Apoptosis is, what is the literal meaning of apoptosis? Apoptosis, the literal meaning is falling off. You know, when autumn comes and leaves falls off. This is called apoptosis. Now, there is this is the single cell that we talked in the last video, that was our necrosis. Necrosis happens due to our what do you say, swelling. Everything oozes out. I have seen here, yes, I've seen it sent here. Everything oozes out, inflammation happens, but here topic is whole. Here the whole system is different. It's very different. So this is a genetically programmed cell death, or either it's a suicide that was pathological only, that was only happened due to something that is hurt or injured. And this is genetically, and it's a suicide of a cell. Do remember this. This is a single cell death. So, next, this is the question that was asked once. That is, where apoptosis studies happen. That is on Synodrynus elegans. That is a nematode that happens on the apoptosis. There are two ways it happens. It can be happen due to pathological reasons or physiological reasons. When happens for the physiological reasons, it's organogenesis, embryogenesis, endometrial shedding during menstrual cycle. This is very easy. Death of harmful cell reactive lymph nodes, involution of hormone dependent tissue upon withdrawal of hormones. Pathological. Do remember this? There was a question that I did wrong, and due to which I know this as the which I remember till now. This is misfolded proteins. Is the example of apoptosis. So apoptosis can happen by three pathological reasons: DNA damage, misfolded proteins, and infections like hepatitis B. Now, this release councilman bodies. Apoptosis release councilman bodies. So it is apoptotizes apoptosis. Now, what happened is basic what happened. So what happens, like cell shrink, which is the earliest feature of apoptosis. If you have to detect apoptosis, it's the earliest feature. So cell shrinkage. Then nuclear chromatin condensation. If cell is shrinking, if this was a normal cell and this are organ, if cell is shrinking, it's everything will be shrinking. Yes or no? Yes, yes. So nuclear chromatin condensation, and then we have membrane bubbling. What is membrane bubbling? Membrane bubbling is when membrane doesn't what do you say, break down like this in the necrosis, but this is the normal cell, it turns into like this something deform, and it starts to become, if this is little more like a swelled form. First it becomes a swelled form, little swelled form, and then once it has created this much cell membrane, then it goes like this, it starts to shrink. Like this is the original cell, and after this it takes out cell apoptosis like this, and there is a whole cell right here, and there apoptic bodies. Understood the point? So membrane doubling, no inflammation, intact. Then apoptic bodies, which I told you. Next, this is not important. Let's go with this. Initiation, intrinsic, and there are two phases. There are three phases actually: initiation, execution, and removal of dead bodies by macrophages. So how initiation happens? Initiation happens 90% of the time by intrinsic or in extrinsic. 90% time happens by intrinsic, but 10% happens extrinsic. Intrinsic pathway. First, I'll tell you what is cytochrome C. Cytochrome C is an enzyme that, if it leaks, then apoptosis can occur. And for what we need is cytochrome C to do not move out of mitochondria. It is present in the mitochondria. So there is a here guard that cytochrome C cannot move out on the mitochondria. So this guard name is BCL family, BCL2, BCLXL, BCL1, and these are called anti-apoptosis enzymes. Okay, called anti-apoptosis enzyme. Now, what happens if activation of stress sensor happens? If the activation of stress sensor happens, then there will be, even in presence of BCL family, there will be backs and back channel. Activation of stress sensor BMD, BAD, POMA, NOXA, this is, then it happens backs and back channel. When this channel is formed in the mitochondria, cytochrome C will come out in the cell. When this leaks in the cell, cytochrome C is paired with APAF1 factor. APAF factor means apoptosis activity factor. Then they become apoptosome. Apoptosome, and then they activate. There is an enzyme called caspase 9. They activate caspase 9. Then they activate the caspase 3, 6, and 7. And then it becomes apoptosis. Understood? Nothing happens. Cytochrome C leaks out. It pairs with APF1 factor, and then apoptosome present. Apoptosome. What apoptosome does? Apoptosomes activate the caspase 9 enzyme, and then caspase 3, 6, and 7 enzyme, and then it becomes apoptosis. Understood? There is a now extrinsic pathway. That is the end of our lecture. Extrinsic pathway. Now what happens is, this is a normal cell. It has death receptors. Everybody knows this. In normal cell also death receptors are present. Now, if FAS plus FAS ligands, death receptors is FAS and TNF. So, FAS ligand, which is, I don't know, if stress happened or anything else happened, whatever for XYZ reason, FAS ligands pairs with the FAS. It will form like this something. The four death domains come together. These death domains come together. Activation of procas8 happens, and this is an enzyme, initiation enzyme. So this is caps8 happen. Then activation of 367. This is an excudation enzymes, and then apoptosis happens. Now, this is normal apoptosis. This is a very easy story to understand, but this is a little hard. But this is also very easy story. Next, removal of dead cells by macrophages. Normal cell to apoptosis. Then dead cell. How the dead cells are eaten. So there is an enzyme called as phosphatidylserine present inside the inner membrane. When apoptosis happens, this phosphatidylserine comes out the membrane. They are recognized. They are for macrophages. They are recognized by macrophages, And when macrophages recognize them, they eat them, and there's a phagocytosis. So thank you, and always remember, you adapt or either you die. This is the lesson that you can take from your own body, that you adapt to something new or you may die here. This is a very crucial world, very cruel world. So be happy and adapt to everything that comes to your life.